Good evening. Today is February the 22nd, 2023. Yeah, the moral lesson every day that we deliver from our Sacred Virtue Way Institute. This is the way that I always do with Mr. Shim. I said, Mr. Shim, every day, you meditate upon what's most relevant to this day, and then you put it on this board, and then we will deliver it to our community and to our beloved audience from all over the world. Okay, so usually we get together and we first sit down and have dinner. And Mr. Shim prepared dinner. I came over and sometimes help out a little bit. And then we sit down. During the dinner, we start to talk about the relevant moral lessons that we consider to be important. So I just want to reflect, every time when we are giving a moral lesson, I just want to bring everybody, together and share with everyone some very important, moral lessons that me and Ms. Shim even talk about on the dinner table. It's all very relevant to, what's really going on in the world. In this introduction of today's moral lesson, I want to say something about the Falun Dafa practitioners, which came up today on the dinner table. And human life is very precious. This moral lesson, actually the centerpiece, talk about between heaven and earth. Human life is most precious, which we already have delivered before. And Mr. Shim was going to focus on this part today, and I invite Ms. Shim to bring the complete moral teaching today, all on the board. That's why we have more. Now, during the dinner time, Mrs. Shim started to inquire into the truth about Falun Dafa. I thank Mr. Shim for doing so, because I still, again, were brought to this situation, and people don't understand what is Falun Gong. And talk about the precious human life. Falun Gong practitioners, the story I delivered today to Mrs. Shim was about my little student. My little student, the Ru, she was 4 years old, and having breakfast with her beloved mom, beautiful mother, and dad, handsome, kind, and very compassionate dad, having breakfast. And the door was knocked violently, and mom went to open the door, and the police rushed into the home and very quickly turned their home into a huge mess, searching for Falun Dafa books. When they found the evidence that the father actually practiced Falun Dafa, the father was taken away by the police officers that morning. And the Ru was at the window looking at her father being dragged into the police car, and not knowing that that would be the last moment that she would ever see her dad again. The next thing that she heard as a little child, she was only 4 years old, that mom received the phone call said her father was dead. And her mother could only bring the body back, and she only get to see a box of ashes, of her father. And so precious human life, between heaven and earth, in the modern time, okay, what has been really going on this piece of land called China? And do you know, from the year of 1999 to this year, we're talking about 24 years altogether, and every year over 100 million Falun Dafa practitioners, just like the Ru's beloved father. So many Falun Dafa practitioners were just violently taken away from their routine work in their life. To be a scholar, to be a farmer, to be an industrial worker, or to be a businessman. In all the very righteous human life journey, to do very good work. Actually, they are excellent workers, excellent scholars, top-notch. Myself, I was the, leading researcher in the frontier life science field, specialized to understand cancer. What happened to the Falun Dafa practitioners in the modern time, in the communist China, even me in America? Very beautiful lives were brutally tortured to death. There are still lots and lots of orphan children in China today. When my daughter, Miss Lotus Blossom, was born, when she was 2 years old, the first thing she started to talk, she said, "Stop, King." I said, "Oh, are you saying stop persecution?" Because she started to see mom's public education content. And the little child at 2 years old, her first Chinese word is "Ting." Stop it. Stop killing precious human lives. Okay, since we're talking about this moral lesson, if we apply to what is really going on today, what's the most relevant? Stop killing. CCP government, the evil-head Jiang Zemin ordered a nationwide crackdown of Falun Gong practitioners, 100 million. Peaceful Falun Dafa practitioners, they are the best in all this human life journey, different professions. Inside of China, they consist of the middle class, the best of them, the most conscious ones. They were the ones that are being persecuted for over 24 years now. 24 years. What did the world do? What did the world do about this? I'm still being confronted by people say, "Oh, the Shen Yun actually is Falun Gong. Shen Yun tried to advertise Falun Gong." That's what Mr. Shin brought to me. Is Shen Yun advertising for Falun Gong? Right, Mr. Shin, you ask. I was very firm and say, listen, this is the top-notch world performing arts. Is anybody going to be so stupid to pay $300 a ticket to watch for advertisement for quote-unquote evil cult? The world people, the lawyers, the doctors, CEOs all over the world, the best, professional leaders in all these areas, they go to see the Shen Ming show. Nobody forced them. They want to go. They want to spend money. They were so inspired by the performance of the Shen Ming show. But the CCP government always try to destroy the most beautiful things. They don't allow Shen Yun to enter China. And when they see Shen Yun is being touring all over the world, everywhere Shen Yun goes, the CCP, evil people always call the theater. Don't let Shen Yun come to perform, because they are the Falun Gong. Yeah, from 2006, when Shen Yun first started, all the CCP people, they do all possible damage, they try to destroy the Shen Yun bus, make a hole on the wheel. They call the government leaders of different nations, don't let Shen Yun come to your country to perform. They call the theater manager, don't let Shen Yun perform in your theater. They did all things. They tried every way. They threat the Chinese people, if you go see the Shen Yun show, we're gonna catch your family member in China and put it into jail. For one most beautiful, top-notch performing art that is spreading the essence of the 5,000 years of traditional Chinese culture. Use the stage performing art, classical Chinese dance, the lost art of bel canto. the beautiful 3D backdrop. Everything is top-notch. $300 is nothing compared with the true value of that show. A lot of people will be willing to pay $500, $600 easily to see the show, okay? The poor Chinese people, because of the CCP lies, when they live in America, they still don't go watch the Shen Yun show. For many, many years, until they see, wow, how come the Europeans, the Americans, all those rich people, famous people are going to see the Shen Yun show? Oh, maybe we should also go see it. Do you know what I mean? That's how sad it is. In this human world, when the people who are good, who are doing the right thing, evil people want to kill us, want to demonize, want to defame us, smear our reputation. What are we going to do between heaven and earth? We're the man standing between heaven and earth. Okay? Our life is so precious. And those precious Falun Gong practitioners lay down their life. Lay down their life for us today. That the world still has something called conscience. When all the national leaders shamelessly did a deal with Jiang Zemin. Jiang Zemin said, don't you ever mention Falun Gong. Otherwise, we don't trade with you. The Chinese people were controlled as slaves by the CCP government. Jiang Zemin used the Chinese people as slaves to pressure all the national leaders. Don't make a choice for conscience and justice. If you want money, shamefully, all the national leaders for so many years, including US government leaders, they only want money. They don't talk about these horrible ongoing things in China, persecution of Falun Gong. When the Falun Gong practitioners peacefully clarify the truth, even use the art format. Yes, Shen Yun show delivered the truth about persecution of Falun Gong. Yes, they show the banner of truthfulness, compassion, forbearance. They show what happened to the Falun Gong practitioners. They were subjected to torture, died. Yes, the art program of Shen Yun show revealed that to the world people. But the show is so beautiful that it's not to stir up people's hate, but to bring people hope. Every Shen Yun show regarding persecution of Falun Gong always deliver the ultimate message that good is rewarded, evil is punished. The persecuted Falun Gong practitioners, even when they were tortured to death, they returned to heaven. Even when they were about to die, divine beings came down from heaven to rescue them and bring them new life. That's why the world people love it, because they all can relate to it. The persecuted Christians, persecuted Buddhists, all the persecuted good people, when they go see the Shen Yun show, they cry. Why? They have been persecuted too. When they are in this human world doing good things, doesn't matter what you do in this world right now, in different professions of gong, nong, shi, nong, gong, shang, scholars, farmers, workers, and businessmen, these essential professions. In every profession, if you're good, you're righteous. If you are moral, you're persecuted. I guarantee it. In these days, in the human world, good people are all persecuted by all formats of evil. The same root: communism, socialism, atheism, evolution theories, modern science, blind faith. If you are a moral man, you're persecuted, one way or the other. When they see the Shen Yun show, guess what happened? They cry, they laugh. They found light. They found hope. They truly understand what means 天地之间人生最贵. Between heaven and earth, human life is most precious. Why? Human life is most precious. It is because we are not just here to live 3 meals a day and money, power, love. Okay? We are very noble. We come from the heaven. We will go back there. And we're loved by our Creator. Our Creator is here to bring us back home everybody who goes see the Shen Yun show got it. They say, we found hope. I am so happy. I don't know why I'm so happy, but I'm so happy, you know. From this moment on, when I walk away, you know, into my daily life, my heart is filled with new inspirations, new energy, new hope. You see, moral lesson we deliver. And every lesson when you put here, in my heart, I start to see, you know, this is very, very fundamental. In everybody's heart, all the children, every day in the morning, they should recite, 天地之间，人生最贵. Okay, when they start to treasure their everyday life and follow our Creator's calling, and in every profession we do, be good, then we truly understand, you know, the precious life in every moment we are spending on the earth for what? Never do bad things. Never be part of the evil force and listen to their lies and be enslaved by their lies and be threatened by their superficial force, and eventually you are destroyed. And you wasted your whole life by following lies. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want to say, relevant for